Hey, what's good everyone? My name is Alexander Defian. I'm a wedding filmmaker based here in Lagos, Nigeria. Now, I'll be talking today about the 50mm 1.8. When I got my Sony A7 IV, fortunately for me, my first lens was the Sony 50mm. It's a prime lens, and everyone knows prime lenses are known for their sharpness, their shallow depth of field, and likes. How can you utilize the 50mm to achieve greater results? Now, when I got my 28-75 G2 from Tamron, I was using that basically for 90% of my wedding films, from prep to event to after party, everything. I majorly use my 28-75 f2.8. It's a constant f2.8, no matter the zoom lens. I love that lens a lot. If you watch my tutorial very well, you know I love that lens a lot. So of recent, I got a gig to shoot, and I decided that, you know what, I want to shoot this whole project on the 50mm 1.8. So I'm going to take you guys to my system now to show you some images I was able to create with the Sony 50mm paired with my Sony A7 III, and let's see how it went down. I started off my career as a Canon user before moving to Sony. So back then I was using the Sony, using Canon. I also started as a photographer. So I had this photographer I was talking to. I was always watching his tutorial online. I've forgotten his name. Now, this man said then that if you're shooting on the Canon 50mm 1.8, the kit lens, you would have to shoot to get the sharpest image based on his own analysis. You have to shoot two stops from your base f-stop. So if your lens is 1.8, you have to shoot two stops above the 1.8 to get the sharpest image possible from the 50f 1.8. I totally would agree with that because I tested it and it worked out. When I shot on this 50mm Sony f1.8, I had good images from the 1.8. Good images, but the sharpest image I got for videography were around f2.2, f2.5, f2.8. Those were the range at which I was getting better this thing. So for these videos I'm about to show you, I shot virtually everything on 2.2. I didn't shoot 1.8. I shot majorly 2.2, 2.5. I was alternating between that 2. I didn't go below 2.2. I know I didn't go below 2.2. Although the bouquet can't be as cool as the 85, but there's bouquet. Number one, and to actually achieve a good bouquet, there has to be a good distance between your subject and the background, one, and you and the subject. So that's number one. Then this is number two criteria. The number one criteria, you can actually shoot at f1.8. You can actually shoot at f1.8, but you can't actually get the best image quality at f1.8. You can actually get a better image quality at f2.2, f2.5. One of those two. You can actually go and test any of these out. Either you take pictures or you take videos and try to increase the contrast. Then you see which one holds the image quality more. You get what I'm saying? And that's for that. Number two, I said to get a more blurrier background, your subject there has to be a good amount of distance between your subject and the background, and also your subject will have to be more closer to your camera, to your lens than the background. So there has to be a good amount of a good distance between the subjects. So the subject will be the mid-ground. So background, subject, your camera. So if this is the distance between your subject, this is the background, this is the subject, your camera has to be like this. If your camera is too far, you won't actually see the impact of the bouquet. Number three, when on gimbal, because I actually put the 50mm on gimbal, you can't move as fast as you want, or you are not meant to move as fast as you would on a prime lens, especially anything from 50 upward. The reason being that the compression rates from 50, 85, 90, 100, 70, everything upward is different from the wide. If you are moving very fast with a wide angle lens, the environment moves slower while the subject moves faster. So there's this dynamic, cinematic feel because and there's also distortion with the wide angle lens. So it creates this like you are pulling into another world with your zoom lens. But the moment you're using from 50 upward, you can actually get that same effect with 35. But the moment you're using 50 upward, you start seeing that if you're moving too fast, just no matter how steady you are, there'll be shake. One, and number two, the movement between your subject and the background, it looks like the background is faster while your subject is slower. I don't know how to put it. Like there's this sharp movement between your subject and the background. So there's no cinematic feel when it comes to 50 mm. So that's due to the fact that the compression rate is there. So if you put your wide angle lens, it shows your subject in a world. So when you're moving in a certain way, or you're pulling in a certain way. Do you understand? But when you're using 50 mm, there's already a compression rate between your subject and your background and the subject. Do you understand? So once you move in a certain way, it's like you're moving the entirety of things. So to actually get the best of it, when you're on gimbal, it's either you shoot on your tripod, or when you're on gimbal, you move very slowly and you shoot on slow-mo, so you can, in case you want to slow down in post-production, you can get a better, smoother image. And that's number 3 or number 4. Number 3, I guess. One other thing I discovered with the 50 mm is that, apart from the fact that it shakes a lot, is that there are times where, probably it's this 50 mm 1.8, there are times where it hunts for things to focus on. There's a part where I showed the couple, I told them to hold hands, but I was like, let go of your hands, then try and hold each other's hands and walk. The moment where they were trying to, they separated their hands and they were trying to bring their hands together, there was a tree at the background, far away. The lens rather focused on the tree until it saw the hand, then it did this kind of zoom in, zoom out focus and focused on. Although it was fast because I set the Sony camera to responsive focus, so it was kind of fast and to focus on the hands. But the truth is, there was still that shaky, blurriness. So sometimes with the 50 mm, all of a sudden, sometimes when someone does pass your front, there's a higher tendency that you to lose focus for a bit and refocus back. And there is a distance where, and the last but not the least, is the fact that there's a distance to which you can move to. The focus distance of the 50 mm 1.8 is too much. Like the moment you are this close to the moment you are this close to a certain object, it won't focus again. I can go this close with my 28-75 and I'll still get a very sharp image. Do you understand? Alright guys, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that your 50 mm is a good lens. Because you cannot afford the 1.2 doesn't mean you can't get a good image for the 1.8. If you have the money to buy the 1.2, 1.4, go for it. I mean, there's a reason why the 1.8 was made, the 1.4 was made, and the 1.8 was made. So if you can cough out the money to buy the 1.2, why not? Go for it. I highly recommend that. To get the best shot, I think if you're using a 50mm, you can't get wide angle. If you're getting wide angle, you'll be involving a lot of noise. And this device is 1.8. You can't really get a blurry listing. So to get the best, you will majorly be getting with your 50mm a medium shot and a close-up, not an extreme close-up, because the focus is on this 1.8 is terrible. So there's some distance. If you get too close, to tell you can't focus on anything. Do you understand? So don't be discouraged if this is all you have. And someone asked me if there's one lens I would advise, an all-round lens that I would advise anyone to get. What lens would it be? Actually, there are two lenses that I think you might need. If you are going for prime, for me, if you're just starting up, 35. Just go for 35. But if you are open and you have the budget for it, you can go for the 24 to 70, or like me myself, I bought the 28 to 75 Tamron. So you can get the G1, or you can get like the one I got, the new one, the G2. Either 28 to 75 or 24 to 75. But whatever zoom lens I get in, try and get the one that has a constant f-stop all along the mid-term range. So without further ado, thank you guys today. If you haven't subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell so you can be notified each time I post a new video. This 2023, this is my first video. Like I said, you guys know my tutorial. I don't like dropping tutorial anyhow. I like dropping tutorial, realistic tutorial, not just crowding the YouTube content algorithm. No. So to help this algorithm, with original content, kindly hit the like button if you got value for the content you are seeing here. And there are many other contents on my channel you can check out that will help you for color grading and the likes. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Peace.